This is a day many Edmonton area anglers have been long waiting for, and that's the restocking of Hasse Lake.
Very great. It's been a long coming. It's a very exciting day today.
It was back in 2015 that the Alberta Conservation Association took the first significant steps in the restoration of Hasse Lake.
Basically comes down to water quality issue. The water quality had degraded to the point where it could no longer support game fish, and it was primarily due to a lack of oxygen in the lake, essentially. So there's a number of things that we can try, not only by adding oxygen back in through traditional aeration methods like we and Alberta Environment do in many lakes throughout the province.
It's going to give us options, really, because if we can increase trout survival from one year to the next, it gives anglers an opportunity to catch bigger fish as well. It's nice when you can have more than 1 year class of trout in a stocked water body.
And if all goes well, there are other lakes which have a similar history to Hasse, which may receive new fish stock.
I know there are some lakes in the northeast portion of the province around that St. Paul, Bonnyville, Lac La Biche country that used to provide for pike and perch fishing opportunities that, because of declining water levels, we've lost those populations. So my understanding is some of those water levels have come back and those habitats may be fish bearing again. So we're working with other groups, Fish and Game Association and other groups to help monitor dissolved oxygen levels over the winter. And when we see opportunities to restore those fisheries, we'll be doing that.
Meanwhile, having a renewed fishery back on the stocking list this close to the Edmonton area is something to be celebrated.
Everything that we do to this lake, whether it's rehabilitating the aquatic system and adding fish and doing aeration and whatnot, that all of those efforts are going to be enjoyed by a lot of people because it is going to see a lot of traffic, hopefully a lot of traffic from families and kids from the Edmonton area out here. And if we go through all of this effort and we bring back the recreational fishery and we see a lot of anglers out here and it does get a lot of pressure, then basically we look at it as that's a great problem to have, and we'll see where we are at that point, and if we need to add more fish or change what we're doing or what have you, then we'll adjust at that time. But if we can get to that point, then we'll already be ahead of the game.